Hi, my name is Bethany and welcome back to my channel. This is my daughter Ellie. She is going to turn 1 this week. You say 1? No, we have a little trick. She does say 1, but she's she's on the spot now. Anyways, today's project is all about her, and we are making some cake toppers. I'm going to show you really quickly some cake toppers that I made for my mother's birthday this past spring. So you can see those are fun and intricate little things that we can do with the Cricut, as well as this. It was a 60s, or sorry, a 50s soda shop theme party. But today we will be creating mermaid tails. Hey, mermaid tails for you. Are you excited? Yay! All right, enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are creating cupcake toppers for my daughter's first birthday this weekend. And we're going to use some techniques that I've learned over the years to add a little bit of texture to your projects in Cricut. I've created SVGs specifically for this purpose. They're simple, but they get a little complicated if you don't pay attention to all the steps. So right off the bat, I am going to change this basic cut underneath. We're actually going to ungroup the whole thing because I have to do some attaching. So it's ungroup, make sure everything looks good. I have 2 layers of the design for the tail. I want to do something a little bit different than just cutting out of the scales. I want to actually attach a scoring line. So I'm going to change it from basic cut to score. And I'm going to select both the scoring lines and the mermaid tail together here, and let's attach. It's going to take a second because it has to think it all through. It's gonna look funky, but when we go bring back everything else up top, it won't look as funky. And then just for resizing purposes, I'm going to select all of these layers and group them again, just so in case I have any resizing to do. I already pre-sized it, so it's 2.5 inches tall. From experience, that seems to work the best for cupcake toppers. So now I'm going to do something similar with the starfish as well. I'm going to ungroup all this. So the mermaid tail, the scales are going to get cut. For the starfish, the details are going to get drawn instead. So I'm going to duplicate this one as well. And we're going to center, I might change my formatting a little bit, but I'm going to go to the align and I'm going to center horizontally and then center vertically, or just hit center. The detailing is not true center, so we're going to get a little funky with this. And I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit more and see if I can get this starfish part to align a little better here, where the lines won't be completely off of the actual starfish. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to attach, or I'm going to turn this one of the basic cuts into the score. And then I'm going to attach those two together so it scores on the basic cut. And then I'm going to regroup all of these back together And I need, actually, I'm going to maybe have to undo that idea. But instead of basic cut, we are going to use the pen. So we're going to draw. Now let's try, oh, yep, we're going to have to detach. And then we can reattach all of the score, the pen, the basic cut. So hopefully, and we'll find out live here, the scoring will happen before the pen because it's the lower layer. I'm hoping that's how Design Space will translate it. So we're going to make it. Now, I'm not going to make all of them right now, but eventually I'm going to make more than just 2. But we're going to try a sample and make sure that it worked first before I make in bulk. So for the starfish, I've selected a nice pinky starfish color. That should go well with a little girl's birthday. And we're going to use the fine tip black. I might experiment with other colors later on, but for this first one, I want to just see what it looks like this way. So we are going to continue and load this. Oh, it's probably going to ask me for the score. Let's make sure it asks for the scoring first. I should have had that ready. Scoring stylus. Yes, it's going to ask for the scoring stylus first, which makes more sense. All right, and this is a medium cardstock, so I have put it on cardstock light. It's not super thick. All right, and scoring stylus, 5-point blade, coming up the 4-point black, or 0.4 black. Let's cap that. So what it's going to do is it's going to hopefully score all those little parts that I'm going to then draw over. And we'll see. It's already looking fun. So it has scored the starfish inlet that I created. And now it's going to draw the inside and then cut out the rest. So here we go. Fingers crossed. So it looks like it has cut it out. Now let's unload it from the mat and see how it looks. So my first take is that I would definitely do it with a different color of pen, but I like the result. It's got a little bit of texture to it. It's not super deep, but it's fun. Gives it a little bit of depth. Alright, so let us move on to trying the mermaid tail. I'm going to try the first tail with blue, or a teal rather. But I also, if you can't see, I have 2 shades of purple. I would like to see it in purple too, just to break up the monotony of the color. And just the blade for this later. So I'm gonna save my pen some ink and grease, and we're going to go ahead and just cut this out. You'll notice some of the inlets are coming up. So the cut may be too fine for me to cut, and I might just end up having to change the cut to a draw. But that's why we are doing this video, to see how it will look. Alright. So it definitely did put the paper a little too folded here. Kind of went up on itself here towards the corner and broke a little bit in the middle there. So I am thinking we may just have to cave in and change that cut, this cutesy little cut, into a draw. Because that's not going to glue very great anyways. It's a little too fine. So, at least now we know. But in any case, so I am going to get the next page ready. Get those out of the way. And then let's see what the darker teal looks like. And even though it's going to say the scoring stylus, I'm going to just go ahead, save myself some time, and use the drawing stylus. And I'm going to learn from my mistake with the starfish, and I'm actually going to use a bluish teal color instead of black. And see how that looks. Alright, so instead of scoring, that might be too similar. Let's go with this. Just experiment with colors. Light turquoise is the name of this color. And we'll see how it goes. So for the next one, we'll have texture. But for this one specifically, we will be lacking. Alright, let's see what happens. Yep, that's a good color on there. So, I like it already. So we will have to go back into Design Space and switch that cut of the tail to drawing of the tail. Scales, at least. So what I did though is I set the inset of the outer part of, or the back part of the fin, I set it to cut out so that the so that when we put the backing of this, you can see it through. So let's check it out. Not too bad. Then we will just attach this, and there's the final result of the tail. So I am going to play a little bit more with some of the colors, and I will be right back. So I did the tails again with the darker color, and it came out excellent. Also, it has the 3Ding effect with the scoring, and it kind of looks really cool. Better in person, obviously, but you can kind of see it here. But the other thing I wanted to show you is when I scraped off my mat, I noticed, hey, all these little inserts from the tail look really cool, and I might just combine them with some confetti for the table to sprinkle. I am going to load a couple more colors, and I will be right back. So we are back. I tried a few colors, and the best one that I like the result for the teal, I used the Candy Crystal 0.4 tip, and I think it looked really nice, but we're going to zhuzh it up a little bit more too. And then I liked, for the purple, the magenta seemed to work the best. So that's the Cricut 0.4 tip magenta. And then for the little starfish, I think that the pinker color works a little bit better than the black, but I'm not sold on either. but I used the 0.4 tip wine for that. And then, so let's assemble these. Actually, before we assemble, I am going to use a little bit of the Wink of Stella from Stamp It Up. Seem to use this in a lot of projects. And for this one specifically, I'm just going to kind of quickly outline those little, I'm going to see how it looks. Just outlining, doesn't have to be perfect. And please excuse my orange fingertips. I am pregnant with my third baby in a matter of 3 years. And this baby seems to like some hot Cheetos. So that is my snack over here in the corner. It's hot Cheetos. So while I'm waiting for things to print and cut and draw and everything, I'm over here munching away and gaining some orange fingers because of it. So it's not stamping or ink or anything that I have orange fingers from. It's literally just because of hot Cheetos. And it can't be regular hot Cheetos. It has to be baked hot Cheetos. I don't know why, but that's just the flavor. And then I'm going to do, on this one, we're just going to do the straight lines. Just add a little sparkle right where there's detailing. It seems to just let it pop. My first daughter, my craving was a little weird. It was mac and cheese with hot sauce and cottage cheese mixed in. Go figure. You might as well do the one with the black too. My second daughter, I basically craved anything sweet, like just sweets. Had to be in my bedstand or my nightstand, like around the clock. It was obnoxious. Middle of the night, I'm up munching on so many things. So this pregnancy so far, I started off craving lots of pickles. I had so many jars of pickles my first trimester. Let's go ahead and do this one while we're here. In my second trimester, it was salty meats. For whatever reason, salty meats just seemed to hit the spot. And now this third trimester, it's the hot baked Cheetos. So gotta get stuck in all of these things every time I get a new craving. And they only seem to last the trimester. I mean, I'll still eat the other stuff. Like, I'll still have a pickle if I see it. But it's got to be dill, and it can't be sweet pickles, because sweet pickles are just gross to me. I don't think pregnancy would ever change that for me. But, yay. So that's fun. Alright, so instead of letting this dry, though, I'm going to go ahead and just risk smudging, and we're going to assemble the tail here. And I'm using glue dots again, because not glue dots, excuse me, my roll and squeeze to a glue pen, but making little dots with it. Alrighty, securing that on. This pregnancy, I feel like I have gained 1,000 pounds. But that's just because it's the third in 3 years. Still, recovering from the first two when this one came along. So, we got a little dab of Wink of Stella on there, but that's okay. Alright. Adding a few more here. So pregnancy is, well, I can't say they get easier as time goes along. My second was probably my easiest pregnancy, but she was also a preemie, so you trade one thing for another. Um, this one is not the worst pregnancy. I can't say it gets harder either, but I'm doing this the wrong side. Hold on. Gotta make sure I'm lining it up the right side. Otherwise we're putting glue in places we don't need glue. Yeah, I had it backwards. Go figure. Glad I lined it up before I tried to stick it down. But yeah, my first pregnancy, I was miserable. I think about 80% of the pregnancy, I was absolutely miserable. Between the throwing up and the aches and pains and just sleepless nights, man, that was a rough pregnancy to get through. I joke around, but it finally became easy when the labor started. So, because these are cake toppers, we are going to go ahead and throw them on top of, we're going to place them nicely on top of toothpicks I have here. And trying not to smudge since we're not going to be patient enough to let them dry. But yeah, the labor part was obnoxiously easy compared to the pregnancy part, which most women can't say that. But I feel like once I was in labor, the worst was over. Like, really, really was. I was miserable. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not fun, but it was not the worst part of the pregnancy. All right, so there we go. There's number one. So I will, when she's in her teen years or maybe even younger, I'll rub it into her. You know how much misery you put me through when I was pregnant with you. I couldn't sleep for 9 months. I couldn't eat the foods I wanted to eat for 9 months. Yeah, it was not fun. But she was a fairly easy baby in terms of getting her on a schedule. She doesn't like to be on a schedule now that she's 2 and she thinks she's too grown up for schedules. But this one's not cutting very well. I need to get a new scissors. There we go. So there we go. As a recap, this is Ellie. It's her birthday this weekend, and we made some mermaid tails for her. We got different designs. I didn't show you up close, but this is with the sparkle with the wink of Stella fully immersed around it. This is just doing the outlines, so it's a little bit different. And then this is what it looks like with the pink. Mermaid tail with the purple. And with the black too. I think they all worked out really well. What do you think? Are you ready? Are you ready to turn 1? Yay! I think that's a yes. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, everything. You know the drill. Have a great day.